At 8:09, you got Liam on the Family Show this morning. He's the Lord Mayor of this great city.
Campbell Newman's coming to say good day today. Morning, Campbell. How are you?
G'day, Liam. Thanks for having me.
Mate, you're actually, a lot of people might know, so I talk about it all the time. You and I are basically neighbours. We live in the same area, and you're just outside. You were just talking to me about this great Christmas light setup that's just around the corner from your house. Lo and behold, it's my house. You've been admiring my house the last couple of nights.
Well, seriously, yeah, we were coming back from the primary school graduation dinner the other night. I turned out to your street and went, look at those lights, look at that palm tree.
People just know it as the Windsor.
I don't have to give my address. You'll see it. You'll know it's mine. It looks like Las Vegas as opposed to Brisbane Vegas. The whole get up in the front yard.
And are you in the Christmas lights?
No, I missed it by about a day this year. I was in it last year, but come by and check it out. I was actually going to ask you for a bit of a council rebate on my electricity bill, to be honest with you. It's sucking me dry at the moment. Now, it's a good point that you're here, because we're
talking about the Green Heart City Smart campaign. People have seen the new I Heart Brisbane t-shirts. They're kind of a bit like New York shirts, but they're our own, they're green.
A great idea. How green is this city? Are we doing a good job, or can we do a lot better?
Well, we have to do that, and I think this is the sort of, I suppose, the year that I think everybody in this country worked out that we have to do something about climate change. And that's what the campaign is really about. It's a campaign about pride in Brisbane, but it's pride in a clean and green Brisbane. If we love Brisbane, what's the best thing we can do? We can actually do something to make sure that it remains a livable city. So Green Heart is actually about environment and sustainability. It's about actually cutting our use of electricity and reducing CO2 emissions. It's also about locking in the water savings that we've all generated or we've delivered in the last few years because of the drought. And it's also about recycling more.
And just I want to throw this out there too, for those that do Christmas lights this time of year, which I know my wife it costs in the go, it actually only costs an extra $10 from last year. They're actually quite energy efficient, the old Christmas lights, because they're little tiny bulbs and not as much electricity being sucked out, so I don't feel too bad about that. But how good do we do against the other cities, versus the Sydney and the Melbournes? Are we up there? Are we doing better, the same, worse?
I don't have comparative figures, but just for listeners, what we have to do to deal with climate change is we actually have to think about the decisions we have to think about in an informed way. The unit of measure for consumption of electricity called a kilowatt hour. Sounds technical. It's just like a litre of water, a kilowatt hour. So if you use a kilowatt hour of electricity, it costs about 15 cents, and it's equivalent to about a kilogram of CO2 going into the atmosphere. So the sad statistic is this: if you go, this is from the head of Energex. 10 years ago, in the city of Brisbane, the average consumption was 18 kilowatt hours a day for the average home. Today, it's 30. So we've gone from emitting 6.7 tonnes per annum for the average home to 11 tonnes per annum. And that's because we all have air conditioning now. Well, many people have air conditioning. Pool pumps, plasma screens, computers. But the good news is, and all the information's on the Green Heart site, if we do simple things in our households, we can actually reverse that, we can bring it back. So I can give you an example.
What are some of those simple tips? Because everyone wants to do it, we want to help out.
Here's just perhaps this is what can be done. And I took a view about a year and a half ago that if I was going to champion this, if we're going to have this campaign, that if the mayor didn't actually lead, then everyone would go, well, get nicknamed. So this is what we've done in our household. Going back 3 years ago, for the quarter just passed, we used to use 38 kilowatt hours a day. We've now got that down to about 15.
Oh wow.
And the way we did it is we don't use standby power anymore. All those little glowing lights on the TV, we switch it always off.
At the wall.
At the wall. A little bit more effort, but so what? We've gone to fluoro globes throughout the home. We're lucky enough to have a swimming pool, but what we did is we actually made sure the pool only went on for the required amount of time.
That because
they chew a lot of juice.
Well, my pool neighbours have just left, and you live just around the corner from me, so I wouldn't mind you and I becoming pool buddies.
You're coming around, are you? Pool sharing. The other things are computers being left on for long periods of time. It's all these simple things you can do. But anyway, you can get it down, and the beauty of that is you can then say, well, if we've saved the power, we're saving money, and then we can afford to pay a bit more for green energy. So the bottom line is this: today we are totally green. We buy green energy. We pay for about 18 kilowatt hours of green energy a day. And the point is, we're $150 a quarter, $600 a year better off. So that's my pitch to people. get onto the greenheartcitysmart.com site, greenheartcitysmart, one word, .com, and there are all these things that you can find out about sustainability, which you can then put in your own home, and that's how we'll cut CO2 emissions. And you can still, you can still have a lifestyle that you enjoy. You can still have all those mod cons, but we're asking people to actually think about the use of them and what they actually do, the consumption, and then production of CO2.
And you've got young kids yourself, but what's a Campbell Newman Christmas entail this year? What are you doing for Christmas? You're leaving the city, you're going to be home?
We'll be around pretty much right up to Christmas, and when we do get away, we'll be going to the Granite Belt this year, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to go down there for a few days. Yeah, so we've always gone to the beach. Everyone likes going to the beach. We're doing something a bit different this year, so we're going to go into the hinterland and go and climb some mountains down there.
The kids have been dropping hints as to what they want for Christmas this year. You've got a few catalogues with circles on them dropped around the house.
No, not really. They're good kids. I think the main thing we want is just to be together and have some downtime.
Oh, right. And you've actually brought Rebecca, one of your daughters, in today just finished year 10 at St. Rita's. Hey, Beck, how are you? Doing all right?
I'm good,
She's good. She's in there filming Dad. It's nice to have you there today. It's like your daughter day at work today.
It is, yeah.
Mate, well done on a great initiative too. We love this city, the Green Heart City Smart campaign. That website, again, we can go to today to check those details.
Yeah, and what you can do as well, you can actually, what we'd like is people to sign on to the program. So you can actually zoom, there's a map of Brisbane. You can zoom in literally to your house block, and you can plant a little green heart on it to signify that you're joining the program. You're part of the team. Give your email address, and then you're part of the program. Just imagine in the future, if you go down the street, you see all the green hearts on the letterboxes, signifying that people said, we're going to be carbon neutral.
No, good.
We're going to be part of the program.
And imagine the shame of the ones that don't have the green hearts. Well, there's someone that's not doing something for the environment. It's great. Mate, nice to have you in today. Have a Merry Christmas. And
Merry Christmas to you and the team
as well.
Family FM.
I'll be around for a swim tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, mate.